My name's Archie, and I'm one of the two founders of Black Cow, which we started about 3 years ago. Black Cow vodka is the only pure milk vodka in the world. Everything in our bottle comes from grass-grazed cow's milk. Well, I think people have taken to our product for a few reasons. Firstly, the quality of the liquid is delicious. People really like our vodka, and I get a lot. So I've just been in Leeds yesterday and going round and talking to bar people, and people go, well, I'm not that keen on vodka. And I go, put a little block of ice in a glass, and I say, well, try our vodka. Neat. And they go, oh, well, I'm not sure. And then they go, do you know what? I don't like vodka, but I like this. I could drink this till the cows come home. And for me, that's so satisfying, seeing that people's reaction about vodkas changed, because it's a vodka that still makes a lovely vodka and tonic, but it's just that bit creamier and smoother. People really like that, so that's been great. Secondly, obviously, the story's interesting because it's a world first in the fact that it's a pure milk vodka. People like the story. People find the idea of it has a kind of an alchemic quality to it, that you're making something which is effectively a waste byproduct into something that's a super luxury product. There's something lovely about that. And I think that people are sympathetic towards farmers, and the fact that dairy farming isn't necessarily the easiest job in the world at the moment. And also, at a very basic level, people like animals, and brands that have got an animal component in it, people love. They love the idea of the cow. People love asking for a dirty cow or a moutini. There's an awful lot of punning to do, which is great fun. So those things combined, the kind of zoomorphic nature of it, the alchemic nature of it, and the actual taste, so it's quite an attractive trinity. When people find out that we make vodka out of milk, there are a few reactions. One is, stop it, you're pulling your leg. What, milk's involved in it? I go, no, it's entirely made from milk. And they don't believe you initially, and then they want to know how you make it. And then I explain that basically the milk is taken, it's taken to the dairy where the cheese is made, and it's split in half. You have the curds and you have the whey. The curds make our wonderful cheddar cheese, among other cheeses as well. Jason's family's been making cheese for 300 years, so they've really got cheddar cheese down. They produce another cheese that won best cheddar in the world 2 years ago, Barber's 1833. And what's left is the whey. And whey, the curds have the fat that make the cheese, and the whey is full of lovely lactose, and you make alcohol out of sugar. Now, the lactose, the yeast that you need to ferment alcohol, all the other alcohol in this bar is made from fructose, be it grain or grape, and it has a yeast that works, but that yeast doesn't like being in a lactic environment because it's slightly acidic, and the poor yeast gets killed by the acidity. But of course, nature has another yeast, another strain of yeast that likes being in a lactic environment, and that converts the lactose into ethanol, and that is fermented up to 2.5%, and at that point the yeast can't go any further than that. So we take that very weak beer, we call it a beer, it's not really a beer, it's this fermented whey, and that goes into a still, and that comes out a glorious 96%, and then it's blended back down to 40%, and we do some things to it. We filter it, and we do a few other secret things to it, and we end up with Black Cow pure milk vodka. And the result of this is that we have a vodka that's incredibly smooth. It has a very low mineral content, and it doesn't stick on the back of your throat, and it slips down, and it has this lovely creamy finish that people really enjoy. The first very memorable milestone in our history was obviously the eureka moment where Jason's kernel of this idea that he'd been tinkering with and I'd been helping with suddenly came to fruition, and we actually realised we had something on our hands which was really delicious and different. And that was very exciting. The other thing that I think has been really helpful is having Mark Hicks behind it. Mark Hicks is a friend of mine, and when the first person I took it to was Mark, because he's obviously knows a lot about food and drink, and he's quite a wise person. And I brought this thing along, and he tried that, and he went, "Yeah, that's great. It's really good." And I said, "Well, I think what I'm going to do is, because I was really keen to get it going, I'm going to take it." We had just normal wine bottles with a plastic cork in the top. I said, "I'm just going to make up my own labels, and we'll do it as a sort of artisanal thing while we get going, while we start thinking about a brand." And he said, "Whatever you do, don't do that, Archie. That would be a silly thing to do. Get your branding right, get your bottle right, get everything right before you go any further." And also, I mean, obviously we had to go through a huge approval process with the government anyway, so that took quite a lot of time. And he was right. We concentrated on what we feel we've got, which is quite a good brand, which people seem to like and embrace and empathise with. And that was a lot of work. And also really good fun doing it. It was a real adventure in itself. It was a very creative exercise. And then, you know, getting the go-ahead from Her Majesty's Customs and Excise was another great big milestone. And seeing the first 10 cases, going up to London to the Tram Shed, which is a great big restaurant that Mark was opening in the East End, and we used that as a soft launch for our vodka. That was a very, very exciting evening. We won gold in San Francisco this year, which was wonderful. I was thrilled about. And the year before we won Best in Show for the Taste of the West out of all the drinks, which was wonderful. And it was very nice getting that from your peers in the West Country, because we have a lot of lovely things going on there, food and drink wise. I'm not at all interested in making flavoured vodka, gin, or any other form of drink, because we just want to concentrate on making pure milk vodka as well as we can, and get it out to as many people so they can do lovely things with it. So it'll be really interesting to see where the cow travels globally, and see how people react to it in different cultures and what they do with it. That's the thing, rather than us trying to tell everyone what to do with it, I'd just love to see what the Japanese do with it, what the Australians will do with it down under. And we're very keen on people using it as something they can be creative with, rather than us trying to think up ideas to cynically sell to people. So no, we're just going to make Black Cow pure milk vodka and a bit of cheese on the side, and that'll be our lot really. Yeah.